Boom boom pow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now many of you have asked me about my background and my ethnicity, and if you guys have been following my channel, then you learned that I'm actually Taiwanese. So today I can't wait for you to try some of my favorite Taiwanese dishes that instantly reminds me of my childhood. Now I came across this restaurant in the St. Gabriel area that serves some of the best Taiwanese comfort and street food, and I just can't wait to experience nostalgia today. Before we go inside to check out this restaurant, please take a moment to give me a like, give me a subscribe to help support the channel. You guys ready for some Taiwanese food? Let's go! I am inside Taipei Bistro here in St. Gabriel. Actually, in the 626, you don't see too many Taiwanese joints offering authentic, homemade, comfort and street food. So just being able to find a place like this that's family owned is already amazing. And this place has been around since 2011, so 10 years. I mean, that is an amazing feat for any business owner. So super excited to try some of the most iconic Taiwanese street dishes that you and I are probably gonna enjoy today. So without further ado, let me show you the very first dish. This is probably by far one of my favorite. In Chinese, we call this gua bao, but in English, it's basically a pork belly bun. You have this gigantic piece of pork belly that is stuck inside a steamed bun, and you have crushed sugar, you got crushed peanuts, you got some, I think it's pickled cabbage or some sort of pickle. The star of the show is really just this gigantic piece of pork belly. That pork belly is nice and juicy. When you bite into it, you just get that instant gratification, a little fatty, but at the same time, super soft pork belly. And one of the biggest flavors that I get is that crushed, I think it's crushed peanut. It's definitely very prevalent. The second dish I want to show you guys is actually called Taiwanese glass meatball. And in Chinese, we call this ba wan. You got some pork inside right here, and it's drizzled in some sort of dressing. Maybe there is a soy sauce based dressing on this side, and maybe a ketchup based sauce on this side. And then inside, I think there might be some mushroom. Oh yeah, there's some mushroom right there. Can you see it? I found something else. So inside this glass meatball, I actually see that there's some bamboo. We're gonna get a little bit of this outside layer right here. It's like a glutinous type of, maybe like a tapioca starch. Maybe that's what it is, tapioca starch. One side does taste a little bit like a ketchup-based sweet sauce, and then on the opposite side, I get a little bit of the soy sauce flavor. This dish is very authentic to Taiwan. You will find this dish and the previous dish on the street. You spend a couple dollars, you pick it up, you grab it on the go, and you just enjoy it and move on to the next one, just like what I'm about to do. One of my favorite dishes of all time is this Taiwanese oyster pancake. Take a look at that. They mix a whole bunch of starch, they add some vegetables, they add some egg, and they definitely add some fresh oysters in here. And then they make it into a pancake format and then drizzle it with sauce. And I think it's gonna be some of that ketchup-based sauce that I said earlier. I think this might be what we call a choy. Okay, it's a popular Chinese vegetable that is used. Right here, you see that ketchup-based type of dressing. Okay, you see some eggs, nice like pancake format. Oh, here it is. Here is the oyster. I don't know if you can see that. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. It's nice and crunchy from the pan fryness of this pancake. I love the crunch from that, but I also love the crunch from the vegetable. Juicy, plump oysters. I instantly feel like I have just gotten taken back to when I was 5 years old, walking the streets of Taiwan, eating something so simple. Like, this is something you can get everywhere in Taiwan, but it's not something you can get everywhere here in LA, let alone the US. This dish is even more uncommon here in the US. This is like chitterling that is stuffed with sticky rice, and there's some Chinese sausage mix. The Taiwanese sausage that we have here is not the sausage that you may have had in the past. In fact, the Taiwanese sausage is a little bit sweet, okay? And then you can see this chitterling that is nicely fried on the outside. Okay, look at that. And then the inside is sticky rice. And then they gave me 2 different sauces. First bite of this. The chitterling like shell, the skin, it doesn't taste anything foul, okay? You might think, yeah, it's from the gut area, but this is ultra clean. And inside your sticky rice, you got some peanuts as well, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with some Taiwanese sausage. Oh my gosh. Talk about nostalgia. I'm getting that right now. This right here is the famous or the infamous Taiwanese Stinky Tofu. Oh yeah, it's there's definitely a flavor that you need to get used to. Now, I grew up eating this, so like my nose, my taste is completely accustomed to it. Now, if you guys watch like Andrew Zimmern, right? Stinky tofu is one of the 5 dishes that he just can't eat, and the man eats a lot of crazy things, right? But I love it. The way I think they make this is they basically use like fermented milk. There's some vegetable. There's a whole bunch of like flavors that are in the mix, and they just let the tofu ferment in there. That gives it that pungent flavor. Now, obviously, they gave me some chili paste and what seems to be like a soy sauce based type of sauce. But let's give this a try. When you take a bite into this fried tofu, it doesn't taste anywhere close to the way it smells. I think the smell is what turns people away, but I personally love it. I think the flavor is not bad at all. I don't think it's offensive when you eat it. When you smell it, I can understand where you're coming from. I think the sauce that I used wasn't too strong, so I'm going to switch it over to some chili paste. Yeah, that's the way I would eat my stinky tofu. As I was walking into Taipei Bistro, I saw a sign that says beef noodle soup selected by Discover LA. Basically, Discover LA is saying that beef noodle soup is really good. They got big pieces of beef right here. Now the vegetable that they added in here is bok choy. I'm gonna go in and try this beef noodle soup. Here we go. Oh yeah. Can you hear that crunch from the bok choy? Oh, the flavors are so beefy. And look at this big slice of beef. Like, I don't know what this is, right? Beef shank? There's definitely some tendon in there. Maybe it's like beef tendon. Perfectly braised. Look at that. I didn't even have to use much effort, and the beef just falls apart. That's a sign of good quality beef that has been prepared with a lot of love. And I love this. Wow. I could see why Discover LA called out Taipei Bistro for their beef noodle soup, because it's pretty good. One of the best that I've had. This is such a simple dish, but yet it's very, very satisfying. And it's something that when I was a little kid, I would have this for lunch. This little mini bento box. They paired it with some egg and tomato. And then I got some cabbage on the side. I got some corn and some braised egg. And then they gave me 2 slices of pickle, which is a great compliment. So I got myself a little bit right here. There you go. I've had different versions of minced pork over rice, but this one, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the use of maybe like pepper. This pickle right here. Actually, that's how you gotta eat that dish. It's so satisfying. And as usual, a braised egg right here. Fantastic. I love this. It's so nostalgic. Pork chop over rice is almost as popular. Well, I would say it's just as popular as the minced pork over rice. Now they gave me this big slab of pork chop, fried pork chop right here. And similarly, I got some tomato, egg, I got some corn, I got some cabbage, I got some pickle. Now, in addition to the side, this time I have a fried tofu. Now, I don't think this is the Stinky fried tofu, but there's some fried tofu. I'm just gonna bite straight into this pork chop right here. Wow. Look at the quality of this meat right here. You can tell, like, this is high quality pork chop. There's not that much fat, but then it's not super, super lean at the same time. And there's just the right amount of breading. This is so delicious. Oh my gosh. I love how they executed this famous dish. I mean, you can't mess this up, because this is like, when you go to Taiwan, you gotta eat one of this, okay? And if they messed it up, oh boy, you're gonna get it. But no, they executed perfectly, just the way I remembered. I'm currently here in LA, and to be able to find something like this in LA is already difficult enough. So I'm so happy that I was able to find Taipei Bistro, and they execute the Taiwanese flavor so perfectly. It's as authentic as you can get, in my opinion, here in LA. Now, if you've been to Taipei Bistro before, definitely let me know in the comment section below. What is your favorite dish that you like to get off their menu? They have a pretty extensive menu, and you can just kind of go crazy with it. But for me, I picked what I think are the must-gets if you're coming here to Taipei Bistro for the very first time, or you want to try the flavor of Taiwan. So definitely let me know in the comments below. And as usual, if you enjoy watching this video, please take a moment and give me a like, subscribe, hit that Liberty bell so you always get notified when I post epic food videos like this. That's gonna be a wrap on today's video. I will see you at the next meal.